Welcome back to day 2 of NAB 2025 here in New York. Kind of NAB light. Maybe we should trademark that, huh? Anyway, I'm joined this morning by Jeremy Morris from Vizrt. Jeremy, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, happy to be here.
So Kikoda Media has had a long relationship with Viz and companies before Viz, and I'd love to hear what that history has brought for us today. What is being announced or shown at the NAB 2025 New York booth?
So a lot of it comes from the amalgamation of the two companies. You had Vizrt and then you had NewTek. So that acquisition happened around 2019. We were kind of running as two separate companies for a while, and then a couple of years ago we finally merged everything under one Vizrt umbrella. But we still have TriCaster. The name's still around. It's still one of our top sellers and revenue generation. So a lot has come about from that large portfolio of everything from the high-end broadcast graphics to the low-end entry-level, church media type applications, and then all the edge devices. How do you make it all work together? Well, we kind of, revolutionized the entire industry with NDI, and so we conquered the connectivity aspect of it. It's like, okay, what's next? Well, then we handle on the software side. So now from the software perspective, we can make a lot of stuff talk to each other. We have the API, we have the control. So now we're showing the revolutionization of the content aggregation and how viewers experience that content from whatever platform it is. If it's linear television, call letter stations, all the way down to the live streamers and the content creators. We have the solution now to handle anything from all of our different products. And so with that, we've come up with TriCaster Vision, so the new flagship product from the TriCaster side was that kind of merging of the technologies and the capabilities of both companies. So there's a lot of cool stuff that we're doing from the Viz side, the traditional orange into the traditional blue. We did not make it brown. If you combine the colors, we still kind of have our graphic content, still looks cool with that. But then also with the acquisition of Flowix a couple of years ago. So now we have HTML5 based graphics that is part of the system. So that has taken off like a rocket ship. It's been very cool to operate anywhere on the planet to do graphics. And you're just using that URL into a DSK and boom, now I've got content being done from all over the world. We've got the Unreal Engine plugin with the NDI aspect of it. So we've seen that with Viz Artist and things like that. And then the AI revolution. Okay, how does that make sense in a broadcast perspective? People are thinking about, oh, you're going to be able to control the show. Well, yeah, we're getting there. But then also it's the tools to be able to utilize like on Libro and Artist and what we're doing on the sports graphics side, the fast switching, the player tracking, all that stuff, we're utilizing AI to enhance that. So the viewer experience is just far grown past anything that we could think of a few years ago, and it's just leaps and bounds year over year. And then we've also gone into the audio world. Because that's always been a component of the TriCaster capabilities. Okay, we can do the live stream, we can do the broadcast, and we do have audio connectivity, but how are we going to manage that? So we've been able to play well with Dante over the years, but NDI Audio, now we have our Connect Audio box, so now I can decentralize my audio production. I can have these boxes dropped anywhere I want to on the same ecosystem, so it really makes things very cool from an operational perspective, and then that, again, goes back to that enhancing on the viewer side. They don't know that all these parts are all spread out all over the world. They're just watching that content thinking, hey, this is live, I'm watching this show with the graphics, not realizing that it's coming from wherever. So it's been a really cool, fun experience.
Speaking of that, this entire booth is run via Viz. We're running NDI from the cameras. We're switching on TriCaster software running on a system. So we had it set up relatively quickly. So it is a very easy product to get started with. One of the things I wanted to bring up is that you talked about introducing or enhancing HTML5 graphics and then an audio. And so that gives the ability for somebody who's running a TriCaster to have multiple other folks, A1s, et cetera, work on that collaboratively. So have there been some enhancements or other things that have made that easier to accomplish for people who may not be used to throwing a show?
Yeah, NDI was really the glue that brought all that together, because we can use NDI Bridge to traverse public internet. So by doing that, that bridges those gaps that normally happen terrestrial. You're limited to your cable distance.
Right.
Well, if now I'm bridging networks together, that allows for a lot of that cross collaboration. So yes, TriCaster was designed one-man band operation. That's kind of how it all started, even going back to the video toaster and Speed Edit. I'm going to throw that out there.
Props.
Yes, I'm still a huge fan of Speed Edit. Our marketing product guys just hate it when I bring it up because like, why are you still talking about it? Because it was revolutionary. It was fantastic. But now I can decentralize a lot of production, not just from what's inside the TriCaster, but the other operators doing other different things. So we have the audio, we've got the graphics, we have automation. We can have Mozart control a lot of different components from wherever. So now I've got that slick automation aspect of it on the back end. So the live production, what's happening, that could be just one feed from the content, but then how are you going to run it from a master control perspective? Well, Mozart can handle that because I'm bringing in different feeds from different things, and I can talk to different systems. We play well with others. That's been my mantra for forever, talking to everybody else. No one manufacturer makes everything, so you got to talk to somebody else's something at some point. So Mozart is that, handles all that on the high-end side, and we can go all the way down to a Stream Deck on the end-user side of it. Just because, hey, I want that big fat easy button, we can do that.
I'm interested to hear a little bit about the AI, and I apologize if I'm talking about AI too much over these past 2 days, but you mentioned utilizing AI technology within the Viz software family to help generate graphics or switching. And how is that is that shipping now, or is that in beta, or where does that look like now?
All the above, depending on the product family.
Got it.
So like with Vision, we do have some of the NVIDIA AI stuff that they've wanting us to play with. We're like, okay, we'll try it out, we'll see how we're doing. So we're doing like the gaze correction. So if I'm looking at the camera and I look down at my notes, my eyes are still going to be focused on the camera. If you tilt your head down, it looks kind of creepy. But again, it's an emerging technology. It's a way to, again, enhance viewer engagement and that experience. They don't want the fake. So we're removing the fake and just making AI work for us. We're doing the blurred background, the removed background, stuff like that on the vision side of the world. But then if you look at our sports component with Artist, on the graphics side and the components with Libro and Arena, how we're doing player tracking and that augmented reality aspect of the virtual graphic field. How we're doing the video boards and stuff like that for ad revenue and things like that. Fast switching, be able to do the AI cut detection, which is a slick, piece of technology. So we are using AI for some of that stuff to just, again, go back to enhancing viewer engagement. Making sure it looks good on air and not look fake and not look contrived or over CGI kind of a thing. So it's been very interesting to see how it gets deployed, and there's still more to come.
I'm interested to hear a little bit more about the augmented reality portion of this, because obviously for sports, right, we've watched football games and whatnot, and you see the first down marker and things like that. What other things are being done with Viz software and augmented reality to heighten that experience?
So we've done a lot with the corporate space. So rather than just being, death by PowerPoint, being able to have your C-suite exec engage with the graphic content in that AR environment. So that's really cool with the camera tracking capability. We've simplified a lot of that down to just a simple box. With Virtual Studio Go, it's a single box, single camera, but I get that high-end look and having that augmented reality aspect of it, so you have that engagement with the content as well as the viewer engagement with what they're viewing. So from a town hall perspective, how they're going to engage, even when you're doing like just a press release, if you're doing live, I have that AR component that then adds to that viewer engagement.
Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate coming to the booth today, and I thank you for everyone tuning in to this live stream. I also want to remind you that if you're looking into Viz technology, or new technology as it used to be called, feel free to reach out to keycodemedia.com, because we focus on that, production, post-production, broadcast, AV. And you know what? The first meeting with us, the consultation's free. So reach out to us if you're interested in upgrading your facility and you're looking for tools from companies like Vizrt, and we'll see you on the next stream.